everybody, it's the Alco Diesel Guy, and it's time for the first annual Alco Diesel Guy Holiday Buying Guide for December 2020 in HO scale. Yay! First off, before continuing, I must thank everyone for all their generosity and subscriptions. It really has helped me out a lot. I'm now over 300 subscribers at the time I'm making this video, and I want to also kind of help everyone out here. I know a lot of us has had a crazy year and have found ourselves sitting indoors more than they're used to and working more in their layouts. So for those of you in DC, why not take that layout to the next level and upgrade to DCC, which conveniently segues me into the first product, which is the Nce Twin Starter Set, my first pick for this buying guide. This is a very inexpensive DCC system to get started at just under $150. It has two DC-like throttles built into it and the ability to address locomotives up to an address of 10, I believe, out of the box. Now, this will come in really handy for those of you who have been around DCC for a while. Will probably think, oh, well, that's useless. It's a dead end. Well, no. It actually can accept modern power cab or more sophisticated power cab controllers by Nce. They simply plug into the back. It can also be expanded via power packs and other expansion power boosters. So really, this is a great thing to get started with, and it can grow with your layout. Best of all, those of you who have never experienced being able to run two trains on one track any way you like, it's a great value to get into that, and it will allow that to happen for not much effort. And again, it can grow with your layout, so it's really a great deal. This particular deal came to me off of trainworld.com. I'm browsing their site. That's another place I recommend to look for deals. Now, for those of you who want to start out with something a little bit more hardcore, or you had a basic system and like to upgrade, I've got this Nce Power Cab system from Amazon.com. It allows for more aggressive features as well as more aggressive programming, meaning you can go through multiple addresses in the hundreds right out of the box. The other unit is capable of this as well, but you'd have to buy one of the throttles for it. This unit will be capable of it out of the box. Costs a little bit more at $189, a little bit more dear than that model. But again, just like the model previously shown, the twin controller, you can add power boosters to this, you can add throttles to this, and it can grow with your layout. Again, the advantage of this one over the other unit is its ability to address locomotives with greater than two numbers in the address. This is actually capable of going up into the thousands, I believe, without any issues at all. And it can access the higher level sound functions. I believe the other one is capable of only up to 14. This will go all the way up, I think, to the higher ones. I think we're up to 30 right now at sound effects. I don't know of many locomotives that can take advantage of it at this time, to be fair, but it just gives you that option if you'd like it. So here it is, yet again, a little bit more sophisticated DCC system that can once again grow and expand with your layout. Now, on the other side of things, there's one of my favorite companies to deal with DCC, and that's the Digitrax system. This is their starter set. It's called the Digitrax Zephyr Express. This is, again, capable of addressing locomotives with greater than two number addresses. And it's capable of universal consisting, which is Digitrax's proprietary and very unique way of hooking two locomotives up on the fly by simply pressing a button on your controller. Very realistic in my opinion, a lot of fun to do. It is kind of tricky to speed match, so it's not recommended to run them like that for long periods of time, but nonetheless it's kind of handy if you run, like with me, a steep mountain and you get into situations where the train stalls and you want to get another engine there to pull it up and not have to do all kinds of five-finger uncoupling and stuff like that. So great little system for that, and much like the Nce systems, again, you can buy additional controllers for it. You can buy basically any LocoNet accessory and plug it right into the back, I should say, which is the whole accessory line that Digitrax makes. Again, boosters are available for this to further expand it. It can grow with your layout. Now, LocoNet also supports things like the Dcc Control Switches. There's a device they have that lets you wire up analog switches and make them into DCC operated switches, which is a really handy accessory. And again, it supports all of that out of the box. On top of that, you could also get something like this. This is the Digitrax Linwai. And like the previously shown product, this is available on Amazon.com. This, I have to say, is a very unique creation by Digitrax. It basically allows any LocoNet-equipped DCC system by Digitrax to control trains via Wi-Fi, as this will broadcast a Wi-Fi signal via any iOS or Android device. So if you have an old disused smartphone, which is what I do, you can basically use their app to basically link up with your layout and operate your layout with it. Essentially, this untethers you. You can move anywhere and not have to worry about the wires tangling. And for $77.22, it's a pretty decent deal, in my opinion, especially considering all the freedom you gain from it. I have one of these personally. It runs really well. About the only negative to it is that you don't get any tactile feedback using the built-in app, and it's still a little bit pokey with that. My advice also, if that concerns you with the feedback, there's another way around this. Simply buy a third-party throttle from the likes of TCS, etc., and that'll fix you right up. And now, of course, if you just upgrade to DCC, you'll probably want an engine that you can easily upgrade. And this is one of those. It's the cheapest I can find around the internet that can do this. It's a Bnsf Gp40 by Bachmann. Cringe, I know Bachmann. It's $87, and it's basically one of the more simpler engines to hook up to DCC. I believe that runs on an 8-pin decoder plug. Buy yourself an 8-pin, pull the shell off, plug it in, and you're all set to go. Extra DCC engine may not last forever, but it'll do the trick. Now, if you want to go hardcore core and you'd like DCC and sound on a budget, well, I have a deal for you. Over here on trainworld.com, we got this EMD SD70 AC, CE unit. This is from Walters. It's one of their mainline engines. Again, not the highest detailed models that they make, but at the same time, a very robust and very reliable locomotive, very smooth running, and it does the job. And it is DCC and sound equipped for a whopping $149. Now that is dirt cheap. A lot of times you can't even find a DCC ready engine for that price and this sort of quality these days anymore, even though that is the main line. Also, if you want something with legendary build quality and you want to go the Atlas route, we have this gold edition Atlas Long Island Railroad C420. Gee, I wonder why I chose an Alco. Going for $183. That's an excellent deal. Again, this is DCC and sound equipped for that price. All set to go. Buy it, program it, put it on your tracks. Enjoy the Alco chugging sounds. Enjoy the lights. Enjoy the horn. Great deal, especially if you're just getting into DCC and sound. Strongly recommended. Again, this is from trainworld.com. Is where I found this one. And now let's move on to something else. If you're looking to get a starter set for someone in the family, again, 14 years and older, this is about the cheapest set I could find. And cringe, it is a Bachmann, I know, but it's about the cheapest I could find for that level, $89. It's a very basic train set. This Canyon Chief train set has a standard circle, and I do mean a circle, with old school steel alloy track, and again, plastic wheels and plastic sprung couplers. It does the trick, but if I'm honest, while it is cheap to get into, it doesn't have a lot to show for itself, but you can always expand it later on. As you can see here at 89, it's still a decent deal, as the full retail now at Bachmann is now going for $165. Again, this seems to be the new trend with Bachmann. They're raising their prices like crazy and at the same time dropping quality. This is unfortunate, but it's what the company's been doing as of late, and it's going to, in my opinion, be a bit of a backlash to the hobby. Now let's talk about some other train sets. As you know, I had a good experience with this particular train set. This I found on, of all things, Train Set Only. Thank you to the person who commented on my video and said they found this there. This is the Walters Flyer Express train set. I reviewed this. This is a great value and great to get into the hobby with, because not only do you get a locomotive with 2 flywheels on it that's a lot smoother running than the Bachmanns, you also get cars equipped with middle wheels as well as metal sprung couplers, and you get a ring of full-on loop, of nickel silver track. And it's power lock track, not easy track, which has a fundamental flaw in my opinion. And this has been updated too. It's got a much more realistic looking texture on the track bed itself. It really does the part. And best of all, much like all these other sets, it can be expanded, especially if you have lifelike power lock track hanging around. That will snap right into it, and you can expand it to your heart's content. You can even plug in a DCC system into this and turn it into a real nice layout. And speaking of DCC, I couldn't help but bring this one up, and yes, this is again from Bachmann. It's their Digital Commander set. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would the Alco Diesel guy, who appears to have a problem with Bachmann as of late, recommend one of these sets? Well, in this case, I can, because it actually has a lot of value, possibly because this set has actually been discontinued, as both of these locomotives included with the set are in fact DCC equipped, and the rolling stock has metal wheels and metal sprung knuckle couplers, and you get the Easy Command DCC controller, which is a nice rudimentary control system. Now, the nice bonus on top of everything else is that this is designed to work together with existing Bachmann sets. You can literally take, if you have an old Bachmann set laying around, if you were a kid, or you already have a set that you're buying this to add to, or if you just inherited someone's old Bachmann set, equipped with the newer style power pack as well as the Easy Track itself, you can literally take the analog power pack that came with that, plug it into the DCC system, and then place that analog train on those tracks, add those tracks to this set, in fact, and whammo, you can run that set alongside these 2 DCC independently operated locomotives. So this is a very unique little set because of it. Strongly recommended. Again, the price is kind of steep on it for $259, but for what you're getting, it's actually kind of reasonable, because you're getting 2 DCC equipped locomotives and a DCC system. Now let's talk about the other end of the scale here, the stocking stuffers, and there are plenty of things that can go in there. We're going to talk about electronics again. Let's go with this Esu Dccc decoder. Of course, if you just got yourself a DCC system and or you have a hobbyist that you happen to know is just getting into DCC, has got a bunch of DCC ready engines, this is a great way of getting started. This is a 21 pinner. Will plug right in place of the 21 pin socket. No soldering required. Pop the shell off the engine, pop the dummy plug, and put this right in place of it. Program the engine, and bam, you got a DCC equipped locomotive. You can always upgrade the engine later on to sound, but it's a great way of getting an extra engine to run on that newly DCC equipped layout. Again, $19 from trainworld.com. And let's say you're not fortunate enough to have DCC ready engines, or the hobbyist you're thinking of doesn't have DCC ready engines. Well, this is a great way of getting that taken care of. This is an Nce DASR decoder. It is designed to work directly with Atlas locomotives. It'll clip right into place using their standard mounts. Or if the model railroader in question has a lot of less expensive locomotives, like from Mehano, decent quality but less expensive, you can easily drop this one in place with double-sided foam tape and wire it up, and bam, you've just made a very inexpensive locomotive into a DCC equipped locomotive, rudimentary, but still very capable. So yeah, an excellent deal again from trainworld.com. This one's going for $23. Strongly recommended. This is my go-to decoder for inexpensive projects. Great decoder, will help get someone going into DCC on a budget. Now, if said hobbyist is trying to get into sound on a budget as well as DCC, I have the perfect product for them. This is an Econami decoder by Soundtrax. This is more of a stripped down sort of version of their original Tsunami decoders. They're very reasonable price right now at theyankeedabbler.com, $63. We'll get easily install it and drop it in. It may not have the functionality in terms of the beautiful back EMF that you get from the ESU decoders or the TSU's Keep Alive features, but still, for what it is, it's an excellent deal, especially if you have an older model you don't want to put a ton of money into, or if you're on a budget and you don't have the cash to pour into it. It can help get that old engine on the rails, or it can help get that engine you've been dreaming about getting DCC and sound into on the rails. Just add a speaker to it and you're all set to go. So again, $63, yankeedabbler.com. Not a bad deal if I do say so myself. And again, for the YankeeDabbler.com, we have a Tsunami 2 decoder. This is the successor to the Tsunami decoder. Apparently, these are being phased out now as they've been eclipsed by the TCS and Loke Sound decoders alike. That said, this certainly is not a terrible decoder. It is very capable. You will need to program it more than those other two, in my opinion. The sound on it, though, you can't match. I've sort of started to see more and more sound, though, coming out of the TCS decoders that is very close on par of what this is in the Loke Sound decoders with their more advanced processing systems. But at the same time, I think this is still a notch up from that. And again, at these prices right now, going for a whopping $79 down from $124, you really can't go wrong. Again, a great way of taking that 21 pin DCC ready locomotive and turning it into DCC and sound equipped. Drop one of these decoders in place. Get yourself a cheap GTS plug and a JTS speaker, or one and the same if you can. Wire it all up, and you've got a DCC and sound equipped locomotive, and have a really cheap first project out thanks to this decoder and this pricing. So definitely get them while they're hot. Again, that was at theyankeedabbler.com. Excellent deal. Again, highly recommended. And that's going to do it for my first annual buying guide of December 2020. Hope everyone enjoyed this and got a little bit of info out of that. Now, obviously get on the internet and get these deals while they're hot. Again, these deals were effective at the time I made this video. They may go in and out of stock, so get them while they're in existence, I guess. I'd like to thank everyone again for watching me this year. I really appreciate all the support everyone's had given me. Happy holidays. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone stays safe out there. Thank you again for subscribing. Thank you again for liking my videos. And as always, keep the metal side down.